Hey everybody, I hope you're having an absolutely amazing night. My name is Stephanie. Welcome to the KetoMOM page. I am in my office. For those of you who've been following me for a long time, I would love to know, where are you tuning in from and how long have you been a part of the KetoMOM community? So how long have you been on this journey? How long have you been here? Maybe you're brand new, post new below. I'd love to chat with you. So as you're tuning in, where are you tuning in from? And I'm at my office. So for those of you who've been following me for a little while, you know I sit at the Lowe's. Hold on, it's on this side. I sit at the Lowe's parking lot because we're waiting for the internet to get to our country home. So I drive into town so I can talk to you. But we're going to dive into a Q&A. I have an entire list of questions that people asked sitting right in front of me. And so I'm going to keep this short and sweet, to the point, as I'm going through these questions. If you have a question, post the question below. I'll try to get to it if I see it. If I don't, I'll do another Q&A coming up here soon. But where are you tuning in from? How is your day? How long have you been on the keto journey, low carb journey? Maybe we'll start with this. So my name is Stephanie. I have been our family has been on this journey for over 5 years. We have 4 daughters, my husband and I do. We live in Minnesota. It has been raining for the last few days. It's raining and foggy. But we have been on this journey for a while. So the number one question, I get so many questions. I have a list of questions. But here's a question for you. Do you consider yourself strict keto, lazy keto, low carb, dirty keto? Like how does your journey look to you? And I'm going to tell you what that means right now, because that was a question. What does it mean when people go, oh, you're not strict keto, or, oh, that's not going to work for you, or you're not doing this right? So when we started this page, I started this page almost the same day I started this journey, because my husband had been doing the keto diet for 2 years, up and down. It was a crazy roller coaster. I always say I helped him fail miserably because I used to make a ton of very high carb foods. My husband started with fat loss. He wanted fat loss. And then I joined him 2 years later because he was like, Stephanie, it's so good for you. And I was eating like garbage. So I didn't start on a strict keto diet. But what I want you to know is this. Here's the difference, okay? Somebody who's doing a really strict keto diet, they're eating about 80% fat, 15% protein, 5% carbs. If you're doing a really strict keto diet, like to a T, you're following your macros, you're probably tracking your food, you're making sure you've got all like under 20 carbs a day, right? You've only got moderate protein, really high fat. If you do it correctly, your body will make ketones, right? Not everybody's body makes ketones, just so you know. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I've learned over the course of 5 years of listening to other people and things that can affect people differently, that this isn't a one size fits all. Most people last on the strict keto diet for this amount of time if it's for fat loss, because what they do is go, I'm going to do the diet until I get to the vacation or the honeymoon or the wedding or the class reunion or the summer, or I get in my swimsuit, right? And then they stop, and then a year later they gain it all back. Most people that I know that are doing a strict keto diet are doing it for medical reasons. Most people, probably a lot like you and myself, might oh, I'm dirty keto or lazy keto or low carb, and that's great, right? Because you can make it a lifestyle to where you can sustain it, and you don't get to the wedding and quit. You don't get to the vacation and quit, but you feel amazing. You're going to keep going. You're going to stay the weight that you want. And so that's the difference. The difference is you're really strict keto, you're tracking everything, you're under 20 carbs a day, or you're mindful and you're going, here's what a low carb or lazy keto person would do. I'm going to take the buns off the burgers, the croutons off the salad. I choose a lettuce wrap. I don't eat the potato. I grab more vegetables. I stop making the pasta and the bread, and I eat the protein and the vegetables. You're just mindfully making better decisions. I'm not eating the Debbie snacks like I used to every single day. So you're doing the best that you can. You're drinking more water, you're getting your sleep, you're moving your body, right? That to me is a lifestyle. Now, that way of eating will still get you some great benefits. You might not actually be in ketosis to where your body's making ketones. You can drink them. I drink ketones every day, and I'll talk about that later because that was a question. But, excuse me, I had some dairy for dinner. I'm going to talk about dairy in a second because dairy affects everybody differently. We're going to talk about what food does to you, and it clogs my throat up. So I try not to eat as much dairy as I used to in the beginning. Because raise your hand if you started keto and you were like, this is amazing. I can eat all the bacon and the butter and the keto snacks and the fat bombs and all of the fat that I want. That was me in the beginning. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But whatever your journey looks like, this is not a one size fits all. The one thing that is a one size fits all is for you to ask yourself this question. Am I hungry? I tell everybody, regardless of what your goals are, every single day before you eat something, ask yourself, am I hungry? Because most people, even if they're on a keto diet or strict keto or low carb, they tend to overeat even good food. Some people go, do I have to track my macros? No, you can just do, the best you can. Do I have to pay attention to calories? What do I have to do? Well, you don't have to do anything, right? You get to. Some people have to track their food. My husband had to do it for a long time. He tracked his food on his phone. He weighed everything that he ate. He pricked his finger to see if he was in ketosis. If you're peeing on a stick and you're mad because you're not in ketosis, they're not accurate. So get a blood meter. I don't have a link to one. Go on Amazon, type in keto blood meter, or there's one called Mojo. Just go grab one off Amazon if you want to test your blood to see if you're in ketosis. But you should feel great, right? So ketones are a fuel source. They help you with your energy, your appetite control, your focus, better mood, better sleep. You feel incredible. Everybody's running off of a fuel. Carbs and sugar, a ton of caffeine, pots of coffee, energy drinks, you name it, or ketones, right? Carbs or ketones, glucose and ketones. So they're just a clean fuel source. So that was the question. You don't have to be strict keto. Just think about it like this. This is what I love to say. If you were eating how I used to eat, pizza, chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, corn dogs, Debbie snacks, if you're like I used to when I was pregnant with my second daughter, no joke, for 9 months, I ate probably donuts in the morning. I used to make myself a glass of orange juice mixed with half orange juice, half strawberry pop. Then I would go to Casey's General Store down the street and I would get a breakfast pizza. And then I would bring corn dogs to warm up in the microwave at my office, along with nutty bars, Debbie snacks. I loved them. Then I would sneak away to Burger King because I loved their Hershey pie. So I would go to Burger King. My husband never knew all this because I would scrounge around cash and change because I didn't want him to know I was eating all this crap. So I would go to Burger King and I would get a Hershey pie every day because I wanted it. And then I would come home and probably eat lasagna with an entire loaf of garlic bread. That was my second pregnancy. That poor baby came out and they said, oh, she's a sugar baby. And that means she was a sweet little round baby. And I tell her, Emery, I'm so sorry. And so she's like, Mom, but we joke about it. And I said, I wasn't healthy. I wasn't taught to be healthy. I'm going to teach you to be healthy, right? So here's the deal. If you go and your mindset is going, I just want to eat better. For me, I didn't go into strict keto. I went, okay, something has to change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat more meat and vegetables. I'm going to eat some salads. I'm just not going to put the buns on the burgers. I can eat the meat by itself. I'm going to grab some salad instead of the garlic bread. And I wasn't tracking anything, but what do you think was better, right? Some people give others such a hard time because that's not keto. Oh no, like that's not what this page is about. Because if you would have seen my first journey when we started, I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I needed to eat better and I made better choices. So that's how we started. Don't get frustrated. If you want to track your food, do it. If you want to be low carb, Do like 50 or 60 carbs or under and just mentally make a note of what you're eating. Easy peasy, okay? So that's the first question. Number 2, somebody said, how do I stay meat-free and dairy-free and do keto? My stomach hurts. All I want to say is this. If you dive into a strict keto diet and you dive in and eat a ton of fat, you're probably going to have an upset stomach. So I always say take it slow. Like I said, buns off the burgers, croutons off the salad, add a little bit of avocado. But if you engorge yourself with fatty foods, you're going to have an upset stomach and in the bathroom, number 1. If you don't eat meat and you don't eat dairy, that's fine. Go to Pinterest and type in dairy-free keto meals, vegetarian keto meals. Like Pinterest can be your best friend. If you want some great recipes that our entire family loves, they're not meat-free and they're not dairy-free, but they're delicious, go to KetoMomSecrets.com. So I have a blog. There's tons of recipes. They are all family loves them, all of our kids. So if you're looking for some simple recipes that don't take forever, go to that, KetoMomSecrets.com. So somebody asked, do I have to count calories, which I talked about in a second, but I'm going to tell you why. And if I'm counting calories, can I have a keto dessert? Will it cause me to stall? The reason I tell people to not eat if you're not hungry is because what happens is you eat all of this amazing food. And while it might be keto and it might be low carb, think about this. You intermittent fast, maybe you drink fat coffee, and that has a lot of calories in it, which is fine. It keeps you full throughout the day. You're not going to eat a meal till later. Then you eat a great meal, then you eat another great meal, and then you go to a party or you go to a friend's house or you're somewhere and they go, oh, look, you want to have some snacks? You want to go out for half price apps? Do you want to do something? And you go, sure. And then you eat snacks kind of in between the meals because other people offer it to you and you're not hungry, but you're going, oh, it's fine. It's keto. I'll have that cheese and meat. Oh, it's fine. It's a keto snack. Oh, I'm sitting around at the, watching a TV show at night and my kids are munching on snacks. I want a snack. So I go grab a fat bomb and then it's a second fat bomb. A fat bomb is just something that people make. It's like cream cheese and butter and really high fats. They're meant to be little and they're meant to like curb your craving. 1, not 5. So they eat one, they eat another one. All of a sudden they overate their calories by 1,000. Is it bad? You tell me. So fat, the reason you eat good fats, like fatty meats, good fatty meats or organic butter or avocados, or when you eat those, they keep you full so you don't snack and you don't overeat, right? You don't eat if you're not hungry, even if it's a keto snack, because yes, you can overeat calories. You can overeat good calories, which is why most people are at a stall, which is why most people don't see the results that they want and they get frustrated. I'll give you an example. I was going to share a picture of this today and I just forgot. I had somebody that, no joke, said, she messaged me and she goes, I quit. I've been doing this for a month. First of all, I'm going to say something that you might get mad about, but I'll say it in a second. She goes, I've been doing this for a month. It's not working. The scale isn't moving. I'm so thankful that my husband's having great success. We're going to talk about that, ladies. But I'm going to quit. I'm not going to do it right now. Okay. I said, so have you paid attention to inches lost? How are your clothes fitting? How are you feeling? She goes, well, I didn't take measurements. I probably have lost inches, but it's just not working. So I'm going to give everybody a really quick, 2 things. If you're on this journey, I want you to just tell yourself this, or maybe ask yourself this. Did I get to where I am today overnight? Did you get to where you are today in 1 month? Probably not, right? So you are not going to get to where you want to go in 1 month. You're going to have to do this for a year. I'll give you an example. I have always worked out, but I've dabbled with heavy weights, I would go and I wouldn't work really hard. And so I've been at the CrossFit gym for 6 weeks, 5 weeks. I love it. And what I said today was, I said, hey, next summer, in 1 year, I'm going to be ripped. Okay. I just said I'm going to have bigger muscles because I'm doing the right actions. I'm taking the right steps. I could easily quit after 5 weeks because I don't feel like my muscles are any bigger. I'm really sore and it's really hard and it hurts. And I could quit because the goal that I want is a big goal and I'm not going to get there overnight. So when some of you see me next summer and you're looking at my strong muscles and you're like, oh, I want to look like that, you're not going to get there overnight. Just like when you look at yourself right now and maybe your goal is fat loss, and guess what? You can do it. You can accomplish it. I promise you can do it. And it's not going to be overnight. Ask yourself or remind yourself, are you hungry? If you're not hungry, don't eat. Remind yourself, if you're bored, don't eat. If you're emotional, you don't need to eat. Food has a hold on you, even if it's good food, and you need to be done. Okay? If that means that the Oreo cookies are out of the house, the excuse is not, oh, but my kids love them. I don't care if your kids love them. Have them at grandma's house, right? No, I have to keep these snacks in the house for the kids. No, you don't. My kids have survived for 5 years without Debbie snacks and without junk in the house. And when they go to grandma's or a friend's or a sister's or somebody else's, they get a snack. Or we go to the ice cream shop. We don't have to have the entire container in our house. Guess what? We can go to the store. The kids get a kid's ice cream cone and they have a treat. They're not deprived, but they don't need it in the home. Your kids don't need it, and then you don't need it. So whatever it is that you would find yourself binging on, get it out. That would help you immensely, okay? So next question is, what if I'm not eating enough? It goes back to that same thing. How do you know you're not eating enough? And we are so ingrained on this supersize me foods. Like if our plate isn't full and if we don't eat 6 meals a day, we feel like we're starving. If you're not hungry, you don't have to eat. Your food and your plate does not have to be full, right? Some days for lunch I had 1 low carb wrap. I was like, this is great. Like when I go out to eat, I feel guilty if I don't finish all my food. But when I'm at home, I can make 1 hot dog, 1 wrap, something small, and I'm completely satisfied. So remember, it's not the portion, right? Like I would underdo your portions because people go, how do I track my food? I need to turn my car on because the lights I turned it off so you guys couldn't hear it. I'm sorry, it's getting dark. So let me turn the lights on so you can see my face. Okay. So, sorry if that was annoying. So I hope that's helpful. So don't eat if you're not hungry, right? And you'll be hungry if you need some food. That's it. Okay. Net carbs, total carbs. I share a lot of visuals about this, but just so you know, is this helpful? Am I just talking a lot? If this is helpful, take a friend. You should press the share button below because there's so many people that need your accountability. So, okay. I'm checking to see. Awesome. Okay. I have to shut my things off. Net carbs and total carbs. Net carbs and total carbs, everybody's different. I'll give you an example with this one. My husband, I would say he would say he's insulin resistant. I don't know. We've never had it checked. But like if he eats certain things, he can eat the exact same amount of food that I do and he'll be up 7 pounds. His weight fluctuates like crazy, right? Up 7 pounds, down 9 pounds, up 5 pounds, down. It's weird. We need to go back to that man that lady quit. Let me finish that real quick. So I said, hey, here's the deal. Fat loss is weight loss, right? I mean, fat loss is inches lost, clothes fitting differently. The scale is not your friend. The scale will catch up. But if you're losing inches, that's huge, right? That's huge. And women, men do not have hormones like you, right? Men do not get their period. Well, not that we can tell, but sometimes you can tell through attitude. I'm just kidding, kind of. So men can stop drinking soda. My dad can stop drinking pop and energy drinks, and I swear he loses 20 pounds overnight. No joke. So if you're doing this with your husband, you need to have another lady as your accountability partner, right? Or just know it's going to be different for you, okay? So pay attention to the inches, how your clothes are fitting. If you can walk further, if you're not as like out of breath when you walk up the stairs, all of those are a win. And husbands, encourage your wives because it might not be fair, but nothing is fair. It's fine. So net carbs and total carbs. Net carbs. I can do a net carb, right? Because I don't have to track as much as my husband does. I've actually never struggled with my weight besides having 4 babies and gaining a lot of weight, but I also lost it. So if you're looking at, I don't have anything in the car. I'm going to talk about this in a second, electrolytes, which I just got in the mail. So I'll give you an example. You can look at the back, just look at the back of something. look at the total carbs, look at like a sugar, alcohol, and fiber. Not added sugar, a sugar, alcohol, and fiber. Those don't raise your insulin, which you can subtract, and they don't count as a carb. So a net carb would be a lot lower, right? Like those low carb wraps. Some of you go, excuse me, why are you eating those mission wraps? They are not keto. And I'm going to go, excuse me, they are a low carb option. They are a better option. They are for people who are not being crazy strict, but they want to feel better. And I like them. So that's my answer for you. It might say 20 carbs on there. After you subtract the fiber, it's like 3 net carbs. So I eat them and I like them. Now, for those of you who are strict keto, you would not eat them because they have gluten in them, right? But they're a great option for your kids as well. So a net carb is subtracting fiber and sugar, alcohol. A total carb is for somebody who's like, I have a ton of fat loss to lose. I see a donut and I gain weight. I know people say that, I don't know. But like, for instance, my husband, if he was doing really strict keto, he would do more total carbs. Everybody's different. No one size fits all. So next question is, 3 months plateau. Here's the deal. I was told so if you feel like you hit a plateau or a stall, eliminate dairy for a little bit or cut back. Especially women, you're overeating dairy probably. Work on intermittent fasting. Make sure you're only drinking water and or ketones, black coffee. There's things you can do. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Just so you know, a stall might have nothing to do with food. Did you know that fat loss is also caused by stress, not getting enough sleep, emotions? Ladies, that time of the month, like there's things that are cause you to be bloated, or there's things that cause the scale to not be your friend. Get the scale out of your house. If you are making better choices, if you're not eating the sugar, and if you're not binging on those bags of chips, it will make sense. It will work. It's just going to take a slow process, right? And if you keep going and join me, I'm on a goal to get some really ripped arms. You're on a goal, whatever it is. And next year when we come back to this time, we're going to be so happy. I just know it. So I hope that made sense. I have a couple more questions. Kids in keto. Most kids that are strict keto are on it for medical reasons. My kids are not strict keto, but they eat the low carb wraps. They eat the burgers without the bun. They love salads. They eat vegetables. They eat how I eat because I don't want to make more than one meal. And if I homeschool our girls, I always have. So food is fuel. Somebody asked me the other day about their daughter eating, and I said, well, if you send your child to school on like a donut or a bagel, granola bars, sugary cereal, they're going to have a crash just like an adult. So I don't track my food. My kids are not on a strict keto diet for fat loss. They're not even on a strict keto diet. They still eat carrots and peanut butter and plenty of fruit, but we just don't get the buns and we don't buy the bread, and they just eat how we eat. I just made, like tonight for dinner, what did you guys have for dinner? But for example, we had like a leftover night. We had some maybe like cauliflower hot dish, like shepherd's pie. We had a little bit of shepherd's pie or hot dish. 2 of the girls had a bratwurst in the air fryer, just a bratwurst with a fork and a little bit of ketchup. Somebody else had a couple eggs. So tonight was like what do you want? I'm going to throw it all on the stove or warm it up in the microwave or hit the air fryer, and everybody had something different. And so that's okay, right? And that's how my kids eat, and they don't have crazy crashes. If your kids are throwing a fit and you look at what they ate, did they just eat a whole bunch of sugar 30 minutes ago? Like, I think we fail as parents to look at like what we're feeding our kids and how they're acting and how they're learning, because food is fuel, whether you're an adult or a kid. So pay attention to that, especially for those of you who have your kids at home this year and you want them to focus and pay attention. Let them run around the house between every subject. Here's a tip for homeschooling. Get the wiggles out every time you're going to do something different. Watch the food that they eat. Drink a lot of water, and you might be shocked at how much more they can pay attention. Okay, how much water should you drink? That was a question. About half your body weight in ounces of water. So what do you weigh? Cut it in half, ounces, carry around a water bottle, get your water in. One of the other questions was, why do I need electrolytes? When your body's actually in ketosis, it's flushing out your electrolytes, sodium, magnesium, potassium. So you have to replenish them. You'll know that you need electrolytes. This hits me every time we travel. Usually traveling, or if we have a really crazy busy day and I don't drink enough water, I will jump out of bed in the middle of the night with leg cramps. So leg cramps, I always got them when I was pregnant, but if we're traveling or I don't drink enough water, I get them. Or you have a slight headache. If you have a headache, grab some pickle juice, Himalayan salt in your water. I have some new electrolytes that I'm going to be including in my 5 and 10 day trial kits. These are phenomenal, by the way. They're flavored and I love them. I just got them and I'm really excited. So I'll take one of these and throw them in a bottle of water throughout the day and just have one of those. So just replenishing them. Eat some pickles. Drink. Anybody like pickle juice? My kids love it. So super, super great. So those were the main questions between how to eat, tracking, what that looks like. I'll come back and do some more. I have to pick up my daughter from church in just a second. Last question was, how do you drink your keto nat? So I know it's okay. It stays on here. You can go back and watch it. So this stays here forever. I won't delete it. So the last question was, how do you drink your keto nat? I'll just say this. I started drinking this 5 years ago. This is how I started on my journey. Remember, my husband did the keto diet. I started with a packet of ketones. I drink it every day. So I love it. I call it my mom fuel. And all I do is put it in some water in the morning before I go to the gym. I wake up at 5 in the morning. I drink a pack of ketones. I go to CrossFit. I come home. I drink water throughout the day. I grab an electrolyte, which I love. And then sometimes I'll have another one in the afternoon. But this puts you in ketosis, even if you're not being strict keto. Low carb, lazy keto, dirty keto. I've got people that are Whole30 and vegan, but this gives you the energy, the focus, the appetite control, the better mood, it's amazing. So all I do is I put it in some water. I drink it in the morning. If you eat breakfast, here's the deal. If you want to know exactly how to do it for you, private message me and I'll walk you through it. If you want to grab a 5 or a 10 pack, and I just got some new strawberry. So these will be in the first probably 10. I don't think I have any more than that. Post 5 or 10 below, and I'm just going to show you some videos from the experts. And then I'll also include a Mitoplex. If you grab a 10-day trial, I'll throw all 3 flavors in there. So we've got an orange, a lime, and a lemon, and they are phenomenal. So you can trial them first. So if you want to know more about my mom fuel, post 5 or 10 below. We will chat. Otherwise, if you have specific questions about food, where to get started, if you want a foods list, post food below. And I'll show you exactly kind of like I've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, how we started. I will give you we also have the blog that we have our recipes on. Otherwise, just reach out. If you want to know more just ask questions every single night. Before I go to bed, all of the questions are answered. And then if you ask me a question when I'm sleeping, I'll get back to you in the morning. So that's it. So our family's on this journey. We will continue to be on this journey because we feel incredible. That's it. So I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing night. I hope it was helpful. If it was helpful, press the share button so that you can share it with some other people. And that's a great way to find an accountability partner, because if you share the video, it goes onto your feed. And you might have a coworker or a friend or somebody go, oh, I'm doing keto. Are you doing keto? We should team up. We should hold each other accountable. Or maybe tag a friend that you're like, let's do this together, because it is so powerful to have somebody else that you can call or send a text message to and go, here's my lunch. What does yours look like? I'm going for a walk. What are you doing? How are you getting your water in? It's just powerful to do it with somebody else, right? Ask your mom, ask your sister, ask your best friend, ask your brother, whoever, right? Everybody wants to be valued. Everybody wants to have an accountability partner. Everybody wants to feel better, right? So that's it. So I hope it was helpful. I hope you guys have a great night. I'm going to go pick up my daughter from Wednesday night church. Youth group, which, by the way, I'm going to have a teenager, my first teenager tomorrow. My daughter turns 13. Weird. And she's the sweetest. So our girls, we've got 4 daughters. They're 13, 11, 9, and 7. There's no babies, except for we've got baby puppies that are driving me crazy, but they're so cute. Anyway, so if you want to know more, if you want some homeschool tips, I gave a whole bunch of homeschool tips on my Instagram today. Not a whole bunch, but a couple. It's KetoMOM Secrets, all one word on Instagram. And I think that's it. So on Instagram, in my stories, you're going to get a lot of life. I like politics, although I haven't talked about it in a while. We love Jesus. We go to church. We love worship music. We love homeschooling. We love sports. Our girls are in volleyball and ballet. So if you don't want to see anything else besides keto stuff, then don't look at my stories. If you want to see life and you have questions, my husband and I are passionate about helping people with their marriage, like whatever it is, finances, we love all of that. You can watch my stories, but you don't have to. And you don't have to tell me to not talk about it because this is a keto page. Just don't watch my stories. So, okay, I appreciate you all. I hope you guys have a great night. Post 5 below if you want some mom fuel or dad fuel or nurse fuel or teacher fuel, whatever it is for you. I hope you guys have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.